Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Joey and the Heel. It took a little while to get here, but we're here, and it's WrestleMania weekend.
That it is.
Yep. I'm Joey, accompanied by
the resident heel, Sean Hill, and it's good to see you fucking nerds again. It has. It's been a bit. Yeah. And everybody who's been asking and wondering if we were going to do it again, we always planned on doing it again.
Definitely.
And we're back, so now you can shut the fuck up about it. And we'll have a good old time talking about, WrestleMania's tomorrow.
Yeah.
NXT Take Over, Orlando's tonight.
Yep.
Got a lot going on. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, especially with some stuff out there on the internet nowadays.
Oh, Jesus. Already.
Let's turn the page. Let's turn the page.
Turn the page.
We'll turn the page. And we'll talk about something else.
Yes. So last night was the Hall of Fame, though. Let's talk about that first.
The Hall of Fame, baby.
Did you catch it last night? Or?
I caught some this morning. I was out last night, and I saw a lot of the cliff notes on, the WWE Facebook page and things like that. I saw, Kurt Angle and everybody. But I did watch DDP's full speech. I saw Eric Bischoff's introduction for him, which was also really good. Yeah. I liked it a lot. Everything else, I'm gonna have to take your word for it.
Yeah, this Hall of Fame was better than last year's. I remember last year there were some speeches that kind of just dragged on and on and on.
Right.
People got lost and stuff, so that was a little awkward. It seemed like they had more of a planner of how long their speeches were going to go exactly, which was kind of nice. It was a little more organized. Beth Phoenix, that was an awesome speech that she did. I really loved it. She talked a lot about women coming up in the wrestling business, and finally, it's a step forward for women. I thought that was really cool. And she did a little segment with Edge, which was cool
that
too.
I saw the shout out to Edge. So what happened was Tony Chimmel, he came out and he did the intro for Edge like he used to do back on SmackDown, and it sounded awesome. And Edge had his daughter in his lap, and everybody got up and started cheering. So they gave like a huge shout out to Edge. He got a lot of love.
It was really cool.
Kind of took away from his wife's
a little bit
from his wife's moment, but I mean, she's the one who set it up. So
yeah.
But from what I did see, Diamond Dallas Page, amazing speech. It went on the perfect amount of time. He got everybody in. He talked about Dusty a lot.
He did.
Nearly started crying. But DDP was one of my favorites growing up. I just loved his style. The guy was cool. He's still cool. He's got to be close to 60 years old now, and he just looks awesome.
DDP yoga.
He's saving people's lives. DDP is a good shit, so that was fun.
He is. And just the fact he started wrestling at a late age. He started in his 30s?
35, they said.
35 he started, man. That's crazy. That's kind of unheard of.
When you think about that, he kicked around as a manager for a long time. He was a nightclub owner or something like that in the Jersey Shore. And I think he comes from Asbury Park. Same town as Bam Bam Bigelow, Chris Kanyon. But he came up, and I guess he talked to Michael Hayes, and Michael Hayes laughed him out of the building. Was like, "You'd never be a wrestler. You're 35 years old." But dude came up and made it work. So he kicked a lot of ass along the way. I was really happy that he got in. Kurt Angle was only a matter of time, but the fact that they got Rick Rude in finally,
I know,
finally,
that was awesome.
One of the greatest heels of all time. Rick Rude is the man.
He really was.
So he had earned that, and I know there was some rocky ground after he jumped ship and then came back, and he showed up on Raw and Nitro in the same night, which is like one of the coolest things ever.
That's the ultimate heel.
But it was like, that's why he was the fucking man.
Yeah.
Rick Rude was a heel. I mean, he was the heel. He was always a heel. So, big shout out to Rick Rude and his family and his 7-foot son, who could be a wrestler tomorrow if he wanted to. But I guess that's not really his thing.
He had a good presence too, man. He went right up there and did his thing.
Man. Big kid.
It was cool.
There's a bouncer at a local strip club around here that looks just like him.
Double vision?
Yep. Guy at the front door, he's got curly hair, and he's big, and he raspy voice. So I'm like, holy shit, Rick Rude. He's like running a strip club.
Okay,
awesome.
So let's diverge a little bit here, because I've never personally been to a strip club.
Me neither.
Yeah, right. Now, from what I gather, it seems like strip clubs would be kind of, especially the one that's around here, it kind of seems like it might be a little shitty and beat up.
It gets a bad rap. It's not that bad. The coolest thing about it is they have a Snapchat account, and they always
what?
Swear to God. So they'll send stuff out, and they'll say, hey,
oh my God,
come here on Friday because Mandy's here, and there's some girl shaking her ass on the camera. It's actually pretty cool.
No way. What?
It's a good time. She said, "Let's." Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah. So my girlfriend's saying off camera, "Let's go."
See, that's a good girlfriend.
Yeah, she is.
It's really not that bad, but I don't mean half the people watching this don't know what the,
Yeah. Now,
still, strip clubs are cool, man.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't get nude, right?
It depends. In Dallas, they do.
Oh, really?
I was out in Texas a couple weeks ago, and they were doing all types of weird, awesome stuff. You know what? And you don't feel bad for these girls. They know how to make money.
Yeah. 'Cause my girlfriend and I have always talked about just checking it out to see what it's about.
And
just as an experience, but...
First strip club I ever went to was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and it was amazing. So,
really?
like, I had a really good experience. So I'm like, I'm going to do this all the time, And I still do. But I digress. Yeah. So Rick Rude works at the strip club nearest us. So,
one more question about strip clubs.
Okay.
What's the etiquette for, okay, and again, I've never been to a strip club before, so don't think I'm an idiot.
I consider myself well-versed.
A connoisseur of
connoisseur of, I'm not even going to say it.
Okay, so what's the etiquette for tipping a stripper?
It's whatever you want.
Okay, so but do you go with a bunch of dollars and
you can like put one here, like when you're getting a lap dance, and this is just from my personal experience, and wherever I've been, and you're getting a lap dance, you pay for the lap dance, and you go into the room, and like they give you a wristband to get in the VIP room or whatever. It's $35 in Dallas. So you walk into this room, you pick a stripper, girl dances on you, and as she's dancing, you can tip her. Or you can tip her after. It really doesn't matter. And they'll tell you. If you're supposed to tip, they'll tell you at the end. You were supposed to blah, blah, blah for this much, for this long. And it's like, okay, cool. New York and Texas is different. Texas, well, let's start with New York because we're shooting this in New York. We're from New York. You can't really, like, touch and grab and stuff like that. In Dallas, my first time there, this girl's shaking her ass on me. And then she goes, are you nervous? And I was like, nervous about what? Never nervous. And she's like, well, because you're not touching me. And I'm like, you can do that shit? And she's like, yeah, you can touch, you can grab my boobs and my ass. Just don't put stuff in stuff, I'll just say that lightly. I don't want to get into the specifics. And I go, really? And she goes, yeah. Where are you from? I go, New York. You can't do that in New York? Hell no. Get your ass beat. Rick Rude will fuck you up. You trying to grab strippers.
Wow, man.
Great times.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll get back into wrestling. Just anybody out there have questions about strip clubs and stuff like that, I'm the guy to talk to.
Hit him up. He'll
hit me
he'll
up.
Definitely have the answer. And maybe by the next episode, maybe I'll have some experience with going to a strip club.
That'd be cool, man. Let me come with you.
Maybe.
I'll show you the ropes.
Okay, cool. Me, you, and my girlfriend going to a strip club.
Yep.
That wouldn't be awkward at all.
I'll leave with a girlfriend too. Anyway.
Yes. So anyways. What was that?
Nothing.
Okay, good. So we also had they had Eric LeGrand. He was put into the Hall of Fame for the Warrior Award.
Yeah, he's paralyzed, right?
Yeah, that was
a football player.
Yeah, it was a very touching speech, and it's sad, man. It's really sad. But
those ones are always sad.
Yeah,
it's always a sad story,
Yeah, but he's very positive, and he's looking forward, which is really cool.
Right.
So shout out to him. Also, Warrior's wife, she did really good this year. Every year that she's done it, she's so.
She's gonna get better, yeah.
Man, she's cute. You can tell she's a little bit nervous or a little, but she's doing her thing up there and she's doing a good job, and it's all good.
Speaking of wives and when they bring their families on, DDP had 4 daughters. Did you see that?
Yes,
they came out with 4 girls. I'm like, oh, they got a bunch of girls to come out. He had 4 girls, man. That's a rough life, man. Like raising 4 girls. DDP, man. God bless you. That I seen it come out. And some of them were cute too. I was like, damn, DDP. One of them had to be with Kimberly, right? Or 1 or 2.
I have no idea.
I don't know if they had kids, but either way, that 4 girls, man. DDP. It's a stressful gig. Still got all of his hair and everything too. It's crazy.
He does. He
looks good.
That DDP yoga,
He's taking care of himself. And DDP yoga and a lot of Botox. You can see his face was like.
It was a little bit.
He was definitely made up, we'll say. And by made up, I mean he had plastic surgery in his face.
Thank you. Yes, he might have had some plastic surgery done.
But it is what it is, man.
Possibly.
He's like 70 or something like that. So
Teddy Long was also inducted.
Teddy Long, Nick. Love Teddy Long. The man.
Teddy, dude, he gets some hate though from people. You notice that? Like people are kind of.
It's because he's kind of a stuttering fuck. Like if you like when he gets on, when they put him on, whether it be SmackDown or Raw, and he does like a guest appearance, he just like, well, are we gonna tag team match and the Undertaker and
that was funny.
I'm like, what was the last one he was on where he just completely butchered his lines and he had to like start again on live TV, and I'm like, Teddy, you old son of a bitch.
I think it was SmackDown.
Yeah, I think he completely just butchered it.
Yeah.
But he's the man, though. He was a referee for a long time. He was a manager for a long time. He's just a great character, a good guy. Still looks good, too, you know? Yeah. Black don't crack, man. He's aging very well.
Yep.
You know?
They also, JBL, jeez, what am I thinking here? JBL did an induction speech for him, and he was talking about some of the hardships that he went through. He talked about like him having to use a black only fountain. You know, he grew up in that time, and he even was arrested at his own job, and it was for being black.
Well, didn't he? They used to do them roundtable discussions before the network came out. They had a WWE On Demand channel on Time Warner and stuff like that.
Really?
And there was a bunch of they're all on the network now, but they were all roundtable discussions called Legends of Wrestling. And one of them was about black wrestlers. And it was Teddy Long, Tony Atlas. I believe Dusty Rhodes was on the panel, and I forgot who the last person was. But they talked about how, you know, just the hardships coming up. And Teddy, he said that he had worked for 3 or 4 different racist promoters, you know? So he had like, he'd be going to get moved around and stuff like that. He was just treated like shit. So, I mean, until he made his way to New York. But, I mean, you got to remember, he started in them Southern promotions. Yeah. Back in the 80s and 70s and stuff like that. Like, it couldn't have been easy for him, you know?
No, man, that sucks, you know? I'm glad that we are at a place right now that we're moving forward. Unfortunately, things like hate crimes and stuff still happen.
Yep.
Sucks.
You got to respect people like Brad Maddox and Paige and Xavier Woods for just bringing us all together. But anyway,
yes.
Yeah.
You threw me off right there. Kurt Angle.
It got too. We got
to talk about Kurt Angle going in.
We got to. Kurt Angle was the headliner last night, and you know, what can you say about Kurt Angle that hasn't already been said? He was the man.
He was.
He went from a amateur background, and then developed a personality in the world of pro wrestling, and
quickly
he got over so fast because he was very good in the ring. He was a safe worker, even though he was an aggressive guy, because he comes from a background where you really got to beat the hell out of somebody. But he transitioned perfectly. He was funny. Some of his matches, like my favorite, because you know I'm a little biased, but WrestleMania 21, him and Shawn Michaels was unbelievable. It was a great match.
Was coming. Yeah,
it was good. And then him and Brock, they were just great matches. He worked well with bad wrestlers, but he was amazing with good ones. Like when they got together, like I don't think he ever skipped a beat. And he's got 2 gold medals, and that's pretty, you know, that's badass. But to come in and become a character like he did, he belongs in the Hall of Fame, and I wish he was around WWE a little bit longer.
So do I.
But I mean, he had a good run in TNA as well. Did a lot of good things, and then Jeff Jarrett ran up on his wife, and then that got weird.
Yeah.
TNA is all fucked up.
Do you think there's any chance of him maybe doing one more match?
Yeah, that's the rumor. I really think he's gonna get something going.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he'll get a run.
That'd be awesome.
I hope he shows up and like beats up Brock after the match, because
that would be awesome, dude. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, so they showed a little like video promo kind of thing of Goldberg, which immediately after was followed by tons of boos.
Yes.
I didn't know. But apparently, Goldberg came out with a statement that said after WrestleMania, he's not going to be wrestling.
Right. So it's over. We know what's happening at WrestleMania.
So he ruined it.
Not only that, he's been kind of a fucking crybaby about the whole thing. He had an interview with Edge and Christian, and he's made a comment about how he's, like, I might have taken it out of context, but he sounded like he was miserable. Oh, I'm on the road again, and I've been working hard to get in the ring. It's like, dude, you wrestled for a combined 3 minutes, won the world title, and you're miserable? You're making more money than anybody in the company. Ask Kevin Owens how he feels.
I know.
You know?
Dude, that really...
But he took it like a man. You know, he didn't do the CM Punk route where he was upset and, you know, made a thing about it. But, you know, I'd be upset if I held the title that long and it's right before WrestleMania and I lose the world title and now I'm not headlining WrestleMania a guy who's going to be there for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not a big Brock Lesnar fan, but I went out and got this shirt because I want to see him kick the shit out of Goldberg.
I like Brock Lesnar.
He's a badass.
Yeah,
I love him.
I think so. I like his matches more than Goldberg's. I liked Goldberg back in WCW. I thought it was a cool...
Because we were kids, you know?
It was a cool gimmick.
It was cool.
It was.
Yeah.
You know, it was, coming out from the back with the cops coming with him and everything.
His entrances lasted longer than his matches, though, you know? Like, he's just...
That's totally true.
I've never been a big Goldberg. I was always a WWF guy, so it was awesome for me. But
I actually started as a WCW fan.
yeah, I know I had a lot of friends who were big WCW fans, and it was a cool promotion, but they picked up all these dinosaurs, and they thought they were going to take over the world, and then it was,
What did it for me was NWO, though.
That was it. That's
when NWO... Scott Hall standing in the middle of the ring saying, "You know me, but you don't know why I'm here."
Yep.
I was like, "Oh man, this is
that was
awesome."
Cool.
That's what really got me totally into wrestling.
Goldberg played his part when his number got called and he had to face the NWO and stuff like that. He was a great draw.
Yeah,
and he's still a pretty good draw because people remember his name and they cheer for him. But man, he's just not fun to watch, man.
No.
He wasn't that fun to watch back then, but now it's like, oh, you're gonna put you in the ring with Kevin Owens, you beat him in 3 minutes, and you're miserable about it.
See, I get the gimmick personally, I get it, and I do like it to a point, but coming in and destroying Kevin Owens like that.
Here's one thing I really want to say, because this has been driving me nuts, and it's been going on for the last year. The whole Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is facing the Undertaker, as everybody knows, and it's gonna be the main event, and I think it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns gets a lot of flack because he does 5 moves. He's got the 5 moves or the 6 moves of doom, and he's
every wrestler
not a great talker, and he's not this, he's not that. But people cheer for Goldberg when he walks in, but they boo the hell out of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is 10 times a better wrestler than Goldberg, and he's only been around the business for what, 5-6 years?
Yeah.
Come on, man. And that drives me nuts. How people will sit there and complain about a guy like Roman Reigns who was on the road every day, busting his ass. They love Goldberg, though, because that nostalgia shit. Like, I understand.
He is a legend. He's a legend. He'll go in the Hall of Fame.
But I didn't want to see him come back because he can't work a match.
Yeah.
This might be the main event of WrestleMania. It might be 3 minutes long. I mean, Brock Lesnar's going to sweat profusely, and Goldberg's going to take a bump and then be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, he never hits the ground. He'll never take bumps, man.
No, he did. He did on the last Raw that he
when
was
he got
on,
F5'd,
right?
yeah. But that was the first one he'd take, and he won the belt before he took a bump.
But Taz, I always talk about the Taz show. I love the Taz show. Every single day I watch that thing. He was talking about something that Goldberg did that was really awesome. When he took that F5, he scrambled to get the belt.
Yeah.
Super smart. Don't know if that was Goldberg's idea, but the fact that he wanted to protect that
Somebody
belt
probably put
so
it in
much,
his head, yeah.
You know what I mean? Really good idea. We're going to take a short break. We talked about the Hall of Fame. When we come back, we're going to talk about NXT first. That's tonight. And then we're going to talk about WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, baby.
Sound good, man?
Sounds great.
All right.
Let's do it.
So what were you?
But look at the tits on that one.
Oh, my God. Jesus. Are those real?
Man. I think so. I don't know.
And
if they're not, she paid a lot.
That ended up being a guy?
Yeah, true? But there was a whole...
We're back. Okay, so where were we?
Wrestling, I guess.
Wrestling, yes. Okay, so NXT Takeovers tonight in Orlando.
Ooh, that's right.
We're only going to talk about 2 matches.
Okay.
The first one I want to talk about is Asuka versus Ember Moon for the Women's NXT Championship.
So...
Asuka's amazing.
Yeah.
I love Asuka.
I actually saw her and Ember Moon when they had the NXT show at Albany at the Washington Armory, and they both did a really good job. It was a short match. I think it was triple threat. I think it was her, Ember Moon, and what's that crazy chick from Sanity? Whatever her name is, that crazy broad. But they had a solid match. I don't know much about Ember Moon. I've seen her a couple. She's very athletic.
She's cool.
She's really cool. I think this is it for Asuka, though.
No.
Before Mania?
No.
Because she's coming up soon.
Yeah, but she's close to beating Goldberg's streak. Undefeated streak.
That's true, but who gives a shit,
No, that's awesome.
Get her up to the main show.
Let an amazing wrestler like Asuka
take
no,
she's definitely, she is awesome. I feel like they got bigger things planned for her. Why not do it? Let Ember Moon have her run right before Mania, and then we'll see. That's just the way I think. But I wouldn't be mad either way. I'd like to see it. That'd be cool if she broke Goldberg's record because I don't like Goldberg very much, and Asuka's an amazing wrestler. But I could see why they would want to bring her up and then mess around with Ember Moon, see what she can do at the with the championship. Because I think she's going to be a good champion too once she gets it. But I guess we'll see.
I don't want Asuka to lose.
I know you don't. This guy loves her.
I love Asuka. She's awesome. I'm really excited for this match.
She's a badass, man.
She is a badass. Her entrance is really cool. She's got a great gimmick going on, and she's a very stiff fighter, or at least it seems like it.
Yeah, she throws some heavy shots.
Yeah, she does. Ember Moon, from what I've seen, she's very athletic and seems like an awesome athlete.
She's got a cool thing going.
Her gimmick's cool too. She's like a ninja.
Yeah, she's got a cool thing going.
A ninja coming to the ring.
Those crazy eyes and stuff.
Yeah, the eyes are really cool. So I like her a lot. I just don't want her to beat Asuka yet. I want Asuka to beat Goldberg's streak first. I want that to be her thing.
Well, speaking of cool entrances, what about the NXT Championship match?
Yeah,
the two coolest entrances in all of wrestling.
All of wrestling. I think I agree with that.
Just going head to head, and they put on a good match last time too. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't think Shinsuke is going to win.
No, I don't either. And you know why? Because if anybody's coming up, and I just talked about Asuka, but I think the writing's on the wall for Nakamura. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see him tomorrow night too.
That would be awesome.
But that's just probably wishful thinking because I fucking love Nakamura. I love that guy. He's just so much fun to watch.
Nakamura is awesome.
I want to see him in there with guys like Styles. I want to see him in there. I want to see him on SmackDown. I mean, if he could just avoid Raw together, that'd be cool. But love to see him on SmackDown. But Bobby Roode is the man. And they had a really good match last time around. Those entrances are just the best.
They really build.
They're fun to watch. And you know, this takeover being the one before WrestleMania, these entrances are going to be
even bigger.
They're going to be crazy.
They will be crazy.
I'm pretty stoked.
I know, I'm excited. You actually got me excited now. I'm thinking about
think
it.
about those entrances.
The entrances are going to be badass.
But those two, I also saw them too at the Washington Ave Armory. And they were in a six-man tag match. It was DIY and Shinsuke against Bobby Roode and the Authors of Pain. And it was a really, really cool match. A lot of high-flying stuff going on. What's his name? Johnny Wrestling jumped out of the ring and almost went right through the guardrail, almost landed on a bunch of fans.
Oh, jeez.
But Nakamura was super cool. He got on the microphone after the match and thanked everybody for coming out. And then he got into the bus and he actually met my cousin and my cousin's son.
That's
ended up
so cool.
Taking pictures
so
with him, and he just seemed like super down to earth and nice. And so Nakamura is a solid dude. I'd love to see him on the big roster, but it worries me because if you get him up to SmackDown and he's got to, face a guy like Cena or something like that, it's like I don't want them to bring him up just to have him be a stepping stone for guys to, And he doesn't really speak that well his English.
Yeah,
and you kind of have to have a microphone thing going on when you get up to the main roster. They're gonna either put him with somebody, like a mouthpiece, or just let him speak as little as possible. But I say just let him get in the ring and kick somebody's ass.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he needs to be on the mic much.
No, he doesn't. Just go out and work because he's amazing.
Yeah. I think that I could be wrong, but I think he kind of learned his English while he came here.
He's getting better, a lot better.
I think he's just progressing along, which is amazing. I couldn't do it.
He's getting a lot better.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't learn Japanese that quickly.
If you notice now, when you hear him speak, he is starting to get more clear. And his first match, was it 2 years ago with Sami Zayn before WrestleMania? He did a promo and he was talking about coming over to the States, and it's just you could barely understand what he was saying. But he's just gotten so much better, and it just took some time. He's around these guys all the time now, and he's probably picking up some stuff. So, but like I said, all the guys really got to do is get in the ring, and you watch him, and you're like, wow, man, like this guy, he's awesome.
He is. He's very charismatic. He's got
that it thing.
He's got the it thing. Yeah, he's got the it factor. Definitely. It's weird, think back to the Attitude Era. Think back to the Attitude Era. And the wrestlers that were that time compared to the wrestlers that are around now, it's really different. Isn't it? Like, extremely different. No, I'm not just talking about because the Attitude Era had people, they didn't have to worry about being filtered, really.
Right, it was a lot easier.
I'm not talking so much about that. I'm just talking about, think of Shinsuke and then think of, like, The Rock. Totally different.
They're different style. You know what it is? Different. I don't think wrestling's ever been this athletic. I don't think we've ever had a better athletic quality. The guys' builds are different now. Yeah. They're not supersized. It used to be a day when Vince wanted these really shredded, ripped guys, and you come to realize these guys don't have the stamina to work, and guys getting hurt doing that. Dave Bautista, for instance, Kurt Angle went out to say he was one of the dumbest people he's ever been in the ring with.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really? He said it a long time ago, and he said he's gonna hurt somebody one of these days, and I'm sure he has. But he was just a big lumbering guy, and this day and age, I mean, it's like with baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball has become one of those things where kids don't want to watch because it's such a slow pace sport. It's not very athletic. People watch football instead. They watch soccer because it's always moving. It's kind of hard to stimulate kids nowadays because they're on their phones and they got all this shit going on. They don't want to see these big, could you imagine like getting my 6-year-old son to sit down and watch Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant? Just wham, wham. You go off the ropes now.
Yeah.
Wham.
The pacing was different.
He would freaking lose his mind. He would be able to watch for maybe 2 minutes, get up, and he'd go do something else. Nowadays, it's boom, 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 boom. Like, and it's it's stimulating, and these guys are just super athletes. They're jumping off of things. They're flying all over the ring.
That's true, and that's awesome. But do you think it's a lost art? Do you think that it's kind of a bad thing that you don't
I think
see
ring
like
psychology has become sort of a lost art because it used to be like you didn't have to do all this crazy stuff as long as it made sense,
Yeah.
I think The Undertaker said one time, he goes, I love seeing these guys take risks, and you see Jeff Hardy jumping off of ladders, but
Absolutely.
He goes, you kind of lose the ring psychology. Don't jump off the ladder for no reason. Don't just do it
There's
because
gotta
it
be a
looks
reasoning
cool.
for it, yeah.
When Shane McMahon went off that cage, it was because this is his only chance he had at beating Taker. If he did, he had to do something drastic. It made sense. But if you just go out there and you start lighting stuff on fire and jumping off of stuff, it kind of gets lost.
Yeah.
You want to tell a story while you're in there, and I mean the best guys always did that. But there's got to be some sort of athletic ability nowadays because kids aren't going to watch if you put like no disrespect to the Big Show because he used to be very athletic, but if you put a guy like him there, they're talking about him and Shaq possibly at WrestleMania. Like, oh my God, that's.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen now. But
Shaq, I think, turned it down, right?
And what I will say about these bigger guys, though, even they're becoming more athletic. Braun Strowman is crazy athletic.
Yeah.
Luke Harper is crazy athletic.
Luke
Even the
Harper's
big
the
guy,
man,
I love
dude.
Luke Harper.
He's
Shout out to
awesome.
Luke Harper.
Yeah.
He's from upstate New York, so that's pretty cool.
It is.
But those guys can go. They can do a lot of. You remember the match with Luke Harper and Ziggler a couple years ago, a ladder match?
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like the guy's an athlete, and these bigger guys, to their credit, they're doing a lot of different things as opposed to the '90s when if you were a big guy, you did big guy shit.
Well, I mean, it's not totally the same example, but Kevin Owens, heavy guy. I mean, you got
heavy guy, yeah.
You got Bam Bam, you got Vader too.
Those guys were different. Yeah, they were the exceptions, but now it's almost like everybody's an athlete.
Yeah.
So I mean, as long as you come in shape, you got a shot.
Yeah.
Big or small. But like you said, it was a lot different when you saw The Rock, how big and just good looking dude. He had a look.
I loved watching his matches though.
Yeah, but he was a good wrestler too.
Now you were talking earlier a little bit. This is a little off topic, but about Roman Reigns and people saying he only has like 5 moves.
5 moves. Yeah.
How about Rock? How about Austin?
They all did.
How about Hogan? How about Macho Man? I mean,
obviously
there was a lot they could do, but that's kind of the formula.
You got to have your
WWE
signature.
Is have your signature moves.
You got to have your signature stuff. That's how they identify you.
So I don't get that. I mean, if that's literally all Roman could do, then I get it. But I mean, we've seen some things that he can do, like that top rope jump that he does.
Yeah, he's a very athletic guy if he wanted to. I'm sure they limit him though. They don't want you doing all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Randy Orton had a documentary years ago, and when Randy Orton first started, he was doing flying crossbodies off the top rope. And I think Pat Patterson, somebody sat him down and said, "You don't need to do all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
We want you to be a sadistic heel. You don't need to be doing all that crazy stuff. We want you out there picking people apart,
I think he should have that in his bag of tricks. You know?
So I can do
this.
Like,
I can pull this out. I mean, we have had some mistakes with that, like Brock Lesnar doing the backflip home.
God, that almost. I thought he killed himself. I was really
thought
scared
he died.
for him.
I remember. Do you remember what pay-per-view that was?
It was WrestleMania.
It wasn't WrestleMania.
It was WrestleMania 19. It was a main event with Kurt Angle.
Okay, yeah.
And he nearly broke his freaking neck. He's a 300-pound
pound
behemoth trying to flip. He looked good doing it until he landed on his fucking head.
Yeah. What year was that?
It was WrestleMania 19. I couldn't tell you the year. It was in. It was at Safeco Field in Seattle. It was an outdoor stadium. Great pay-per-view. Eddie Guerrero won the title. Oh no, not that time. Maybe it was the next year. That was the next year. But it was a good pay-per-view. I think The Rock and Austin had their final match.
Oh, okay.
Solid stuff. But yeah, when they take those risks, when guys like that, when they don't do it very often. Remember Ric Flair in his retirement match? He hit a crossbody off the top rope on Michaels, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, Ric Flair can crossbody." I'm sure he always knew, but he does his thing. That whole 5 moves of doom crap they say, it's like Kevin Nash said one day that he used to get a lot of stuff about that. All you do is a freaking forearm and a knee and a sidewalk slam, and he's like, "Yeah, Nolan Ryan only had a fastball, and he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time."
Right.
And he was like, if you're good at something, you do it.
You do it, yeah.
So Roman Reigns is awesome. I like the stuff he does. It makes sense. He's a big athletic guy.
Yeah.
If you ever seen his tapes, his workout tapes from back when he was in college, he was a linebacker at Georgia Tech. man, he's a strong son of a bitch, man. They showed him doing squats with like all the weight you've ever seen, a bunch of chains on top of him, just doing squats, and he was just a freak athlete. Just like The Rock, like all those guys, they're just freaks.
They booed him last night too at the Hall of Fame.
Who did?
Of course.
Oh, Roman?
The fans.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Did you
but
see
he was
Sami Zayn laughing?
I'm like, oh, dude, yeah.
Dude, that was great.
But Roman, from all accounts, everything I've heard about the guy, I haven't heard a bad thing about him. Everybody in the backstage likes him. He's really a hard worker. Dude, He travels. I mean, I like his work. It makes sense for a big guy like him. He's got a great look. You know what it is, man? Sometimes that's all it takes. Yeah. And it's not fair, but I mean, it's an entertainment business. This guy's got a look, and it works. He looks like a badass. He looks cool. A guy could be an action star.
So, going back to NXT, let's finish this up.
Sure.
Who's going to win? Who's going to win that NXT championship?
Bobby Roode's going to keep the belt.
Yeah, I think so too. Like you said, I think Shinsuke's going to be either moving up or
he's done all he can.
Yeah,
he's done all he can in NXT. What, he's going to get another title run?
I mean, on the other hand, though, maybe Triple H would want to keep him in NXT because,
of course, he would.
But I don't know. It just seems like.
But the beauty of NXT is that when one guy leaves, there's always a next.
There's someone else.
And it's a developmental league, pretty much. It's like the minor leagues, and they just keep building up these stars. Final destination is Raw or SmackDown. That's where you want to be, man.
Yeah.
And once these guys get up there, you start seeing the DIYs and Shinsuke, you're gonna get a good product,
Yeah, that's true. But then again,
deep roster.
We've also had some people come up from NXT, and it kind of just
it didn't work out.
Doesn't work.
Or you know what else? You know what sucks though, and it probably scares the guys that are already on the roster. When these young guys get brought up and they look really good, you're taking somebody's spot. Look at Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
I mean, the more that guys get called up, the further down the run Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph Ziggler's one of my favorites. I love Dolph Ziggler. He's an amazing competitor. He's just like, I think he's got a great heel gimmick going on right now. But they don't know what to do with him. I think I think it's a lot of politics. I think he pissed off a lot of people.
Well, that's like, man.
I mean, trying to screw Nikki Bella is never a good idea.
Breeze.
Tyler Breeze?
Tyler Breeze, man. He
messing around.
Well, did you hear he got in trouble for leaving a show early?
Really? Not in here.
Okay, so this happened a while ago. He got in trouble because he left a show early, and I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure he only told one person, and he just left the show, whatever it was for. But really, I guess the standard is there. Even if you don't have a match on the card, you got to stay and watch.
You got to be there.
Out. You got to, So I guess he left early, and then now you have Breeze Dango.
Oh yeah, Breezango.
Yeah. So. I mean, I actually kind of like that gimmick. I think it's cool.
It's funny.
But I feel like he could have had more of a star role.
I just don't like how there are guys like him who's a great athlete, great wrestler. So was Fandango.
Well, he has a good gimmick too. Yeah. That's not, you know what I mean?
And then and so was Dolph Ziggler. You got all these great guys that are still on the roster that aren't really getting anywhere. Yeah. But you see guys like fucking Mojo Rawley, and like, which is a guy I don't like. But all these, like, they're starting to get some movement. It's like, what the hell is going on? Like, what? Ziggler's been around for how long, But it is what it is. He must have pissed somebody off. But I'll tell you who I'm starting to really like.
Who's that?
Is Baron Corbin. And I didn't at first. I didn't like him in NXT. I'm like, oh, this is goofball gimmick, badass,
I liked it. Really?
And then, but now you see him and you're like, all right, he can talk.
The lone wolf.
He can talk. He can work. I think him and Ambrose is going to be awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Because Ambrose will put him over, and I think they'll have a great chemistry in there. And
I agree.
I'm starting to really like Baron Corbin. I think he's going to be a big star.
Definitely. So you want to take a look at the WrestleMania card?
Sure.
All right.
Which one? All right, so we have a list here of the matches at WrestleMania. Which one stands out to you the most when you're looking at it?
Jericho and Owens.
That's a good one.
That's the one I really want to see, and I think it should be further up on the card, actually.
You know what? I don't think this is a bad card. I understand nobody wants to see Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar as the main event, but that might not even happen now. It looks like Undertaker's going to get the main event, as he should, and Reigns. You've got Bayley. I forgot about that match. You got Bayley and Charlotte and Sasha. Oh, fucking Nia Jax. But those other three chicks are great.
Wait, what's wrong with Nia Jax? Why does everybody hate Nia Jax?
She looks like a garbage bag filled with tapioca.
Oh, Jesus.
And I just don't think she's very good.
Right.
But it's true.
Right. Her outfit's a little weird.
She's not proportionate, though. I don't mind big girls, but it's like, what the hell happened to you? They just stuffed her in this bag and rolled her around a little bit and threw makeup on her face.
She's a pretty girl. She's got a pretty face. She used to be a model. Did you know that?
Yeah, but she just looks so. I don't know what if it's just it's the attire they put her in. I don't know.
Her music.
She just looks like a lumpy beanbag. Yeah, that sucks too,
dude.
Every time I hear it, like
she's supposed to be this big badass heel, and she's got like.
I'm not with it. I'm not with her at all. I don't think she's very good either. But you got Bayley, who's amazing. Charlotte, best female wrestler I've ever seen in my life. She's unbelievable. She's so good. You can talk about Trish and Lita all day, and I grew up watching those girls.
Yep.
Charlotte is unbelievable. She's such a great athlete.
I agree.
I love Sasha Banks too. She's so fucking fine.
She is. She's a very pretty girl. All these girls are coming up they're pretty girls and they're awesome athletes, you know?
I like how you did this, but you know what? The one that stands out to me, and I think it's going to be the best, I guess, show match of the night, is the Cruiserweight Championship with Neville and Austin Aries. Austin Aries is awesome. He's been awesome for years. Neville is amazing. I'm glad Austin Aries is finally on the main card. Problem is they're doing it on the kickoff show.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great match. And, I mean, they want people to turn into the kickoff show, and I understand that. Plus, you'll get the Battle Royal at the kickoff show. But Austin Aries is fucking awesome, man. Like, he's so fun to watch. And then
so is Neville.
Neville's
hold on a second. Yeah,
Neville's
amazing.
Well, Neville, he's a champion. Of course he's yeah. But you got Bray versus Orton. I know a lot of people are worried about, Orton's getting another shot at WrestleMania championship match. Orton's the man. Orton can go. You know you're going to get a good match with Orton. People thought maybe it'd be him and Cena. But even if it was, who cares? I know we've seen it 1,000 times, but we know those guys can work together. They always put on a good match. But I'm glad it's something different. I like Bray Wyatt a lot.
Yeah.
Taker and Reigns, I said it before. This might be Taker's what they call it, the swan song, or the final call.
Riding off into the sunset.
And I'm glad it's with Reigns, because if he's gonna be the guy, they gotta put him in there with Taker. And I bet Taker, they told him Reigns, and Taker probably said, "Yeah, sounds good."
I heard that, and I could be wrong, but I thought I read something about Taker actually requested it to be Reigns.
It could be. True, yeah, I mean, Taker's one of those guys who he has enough pull where he can be like, I want to wrestle this guy.
Totally.
I mean, I'm not super stoked about Cena and Nikki Bella against The Miz and Maurice, but I mean...
Oh, I think that'll be cool. I know a lot of people are not looking forward to that at all, but I think it's
just because we kind of see the writing on the wall, and there's the rumors of them getting married in the ring, and blah, 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 or, engaged, whatever.
Well, that's romantic. Come on.
Like, just save that shit for Raw,
Save it for Raw. Dude, if you had the chance to propose to someone on the biggest stage of them all, biggest show of the year, WrestleMania.
Yeah, I guess.
Would you do it?
Yeah, but I don't know.
You wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't think I would. That's just too many people. They don't even.
That is a lot of people that.
But I mean,
don't even care.
Cena lives his life in the public eye. Everything he does is for. And I think what the Miz said, it rang a little true, man. Everything he does is for a reason. It's for his brand, and I truly believe that. I mean, John Cena's a brand, and I love John Cena.
Is.
One of the hardest workers ever.
Guy.
Smart guy, but he's building his brand because he made them jokes about The Rock, but as soon as he sees that light at the end of the tunnel where he can get into movies, he's going to take it.
That's true. I don't know if I 100% agree with it, that he's like kind of a facade.
No, I don't think he's.
Because I think he's a good guy. I mean, I think he does all the if I remember correctly, and I think still, he's done the most Make-A-Wish foundations
easily,
by far,
easily
over any celebrity, that's amazing, man. I mean, how can you chant "you suck" to somebody that does something like that?
Yeah, I would say the kids, they love John Cena. No, John Cena, I got all the respect in the world for John Cena. I'm just saying, a lot of this, they live their lives in like the public view, and it's like they still do the Total Divas together and stuff like that. Like, there's no privacy in their relationship, and I think I don't think they mind it. It's helping both their brands, especially Nikki, because she wasn't like a household name before the show and stuff like that. Like, we knew her as wrestling fans, but now like you turn on E and she's on there. I don't know. I think I caught the first season of that Total Divas shit, but after that,
I couldn't watch it. No,
I might watch it now though, because Lana's in it, and the things I would do to Lana if Rusev wouldn't rip my limbs off.
Handsome Rusev. I
like Rusev too.
I loved The Miz and Reese doing the
hilarious.
What was it? Total Bellas bullshit.
Yep.
Dude, that was hilarious. If you haven't seen that, go to our Facebook page, and I posted it on there. You can check it out. You might have seen it, but I just think it was really hilarious. The crowd didn't react much to it, which I don't understand, but it was really
What's the deal
good.
with this Alexa Bliss match? So I heard a little bit about it. So she's wrestling every chick on the roster? It's like just a big melee or a battle
women.
royal.
All available women.
Was it over the top rope battle royal or something like that?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not looking forward to it.
We didn't even talk about the tag team championships for Raw. So you got Gallows and Anderson against Enzo and Cass, and Cesaro and Sheamus. What do you think's gonna happen there? You think they're gonna drop the titles? I can't see Enzo and Cass getting the belt.
It was really quick. I mean, that would be a really quick.
Yeah. Well, how long they've had it now? They've had it for a couple months now.
Yeah, but that's kind of quick, man. The last people,
and they're really good too, man. I think people.
Yeah,
I like to see them keep.
I would like to see him have more of a run with them.
Then you got Shane and AJ, and you know, just by the way they're setting up the venue, that they're going to be jumping off of something.
The ring? What's the deal with that?
There's a ring on top of
There's a ring on top of a ring.
And then you've got the fucking roller coaster they built. I swear to God, this is all just for Shane to jump off of. It's just like
gonna be doing loops.
Like just pick which one you're gonna jump off of. We'll set something up for you to land on. You fucking nut job.
Dude,
I just don't like that he's in Mania. And it's gonna be a cool show to see him jump off of something. But it's like, we're going to give you a Mania spot every year now because you jump off of shit.
Okay, so there's Seth Rollins versus Triple H, and you got Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. One's a Raw match, one's a SmackDown match. I had, I think, a pretty good idea that I think they should have done instead, just for WrestleMania. Raw versus SmackDown. Raw picks one guy, SmackDown picks one guy. SmackDown picks AJ Styles, Raw picks Seth Rollins. That would have been an awesome match.
I wish they could have both world champions square off with each other at a show.
Yeah, but then
there'd only be one belt again. Then,
yeah.
Or just like for the pride of it, like, all right, who's got the better?
I like that there's two belts.
I don't mind it.
I like that the shows are split. I don't know. Before
I'm loving SmackDown right now.
I had no reason to watch SmackDown before it was split. You know what I'm saying?
Right, it didn't really matter.
Yeah, SmackDown was just kind of,
No, but they're doing a really good job on SmackDown.
You got the higher ratings.
That's the real world championship too. That's like the world title. Bray
Yeah.
Wyatt is the world champion. That universal fruit roll up looking belt, man. I don't.
Fruit roll up.
It is what it is, I guess. And Goldberg holds it, so nobody really gives a shit.
Yeah. Kevin made it though.
No, that was cool.
Yeah.
But what's his name? The Irish kid. He'll be back, and he'll be there. Finn Balor.
Oh,
he's got to get a title shot, right? Because he never really lost the belt.
Yeah.
So
he might be. I'm kind of thinking he might be in WrestleMania.
He's been wrestling.
I think he might. Yeah, but he's been wrestling on non-TV shows.
Right.
But I think that he might
wrestle,
somehow be in one of these matches. I think so.
We'll see. Well, maybe he'll show up in
the Owens match, because
maybe
remember he had that whole thing on Twitter when he was like, he was showing him the belt, like kind of like laughing at him. That was hilarious. But so we've been jumping around. We've been jumping around a little bit.
Just a little.
Triple H versus Seth Rollins, non-sanctioned match. What does that mean?
It's just a part of the angle they're doing with Seth being hurt. So we can't have a real match because you're not cleared. But we'll have a unsanctioned fight, and it's like we don't. It doesn't matter.
So what does that mean?
Just means like, you know how it's still in kayfabe. They want it to be like it's got to be a sanctioned event, right. like in boxing or something like that. It's got to be a sanctioned fight. Both guys got to be cleared medically, this, that, and the third to actually have a official match. This is anything goes. This isn't an official wrestling match. This is just a fight. So that's what they're calling it. It's non-sanctioned.
So there's no pins.
I think it's just gonna be a fight. Yeah, I mean, I guess there could be a pin if they wanted it like that, but it's more like an exhibition, so it's like it's not gonna be in the record books or whatever. But that's just it's part of the angle, you know.
That's kind of weird. I don't know.
They could have just said no holds barred or something like that, but they're doing it because Rollins shouldn't be wrestling. He's not cleared, so it's probably just gonna be a big fight.
Oh. That's cool, I guess.
We'll see.
It'll probably be a good match. Triple H versus Seth Rollins would be good.
Oh yeah. Well, I wish Seth Rollins was in 100% shape though, because they were going to put on probably the best match of the night between the two of them. They've been building up for this for a while.
Definitely. I heard that Seth Rollins is sick or something too. Though.
I heard that too. I just heard that like yesterday, and no one really clarified what that meant or what it was or.
That he's sick with,
that he's sick. Guess we'll see.
Hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully he'll be okay, you know.
Just do a couple moves, you know.
Yeah.
That'll probably be a quick one. I'd imagine it's going to be towards the end of the show, right before the main event. It'll be quick.
How many of these matches do you think are throwaways?
Let's look at them. The Battle Royal is always a throwaway for me. I don't care about it.
Alexa Bliss and the all-available women.
Yeah, I just love Alexa Bliss, though.
Yeah, so do I. But
I think the tag match
going to be one of those matches where people are just running in, and you know what I mean.
I think the tag match is going to be a throwaway, and I say that because it's a 3-team tag match. Like, it really doesn't. Yeah. And I think it's going to, you know, Gallows and Anderson will keep it. I think the Cena, Nikki Bella versus Miz and Maurice, I think that's a throwaway. But I mean, people are going to watch it. Everything else I want to see, though. I still want to see Goldberg and Lesnar because I really want to see Lesnar beat the hell out of him and keep the belt or take the belt back. But then you got an issue where it's like you still have a part-timer with the world title. But I mean, I don't watch that much Raw anymore. SmackDown's the show. So I think Wyatt and Randy are going to kill it. Taker and Reigns are going to kill it. You know, a lot of striking in that match.
Yeah.
A whole lot of punches and kicks. Shane and AJ will be all right. Because AJ's awesome, and Shane will do whatever it takes to put on a show.
Definitely. I think it will be good.
I think Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin is going to be like the sleeper match. I think people are going to be really impressed by those guys.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, I don't really have to tell you guys that that's going to be awesome. And Neville and Aries, I think that's my favorite one. But like I said, they put on the kickoff show.
Yeah. The kickoff show, the kickoff show doesn't really make any sense because.
Well, if you have the network, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's the show.
Yeah.
They call it the kickoff show, but when the show starts, it's on because they're wrestling as soon as it starts. So
does the kickoff play anywhere else? Like, does it play on TV or anything on the USA Network?
No, I don't think so. No.
So
you only get it on the network. So if you have the network, you're just going right and you're watching the show.
Yeah. All right. So quickly, predictions: Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Who wins?
Braun Strowman.
I agree. Braun Strowman. Cruiserweight Championship. Neville, Austin Aries.
I think Austin Aries takes it.
You think so?
I do. I think he gets it from him, yeah. And they'll have a feud for a while.
Okay. I'm going to go with Neville.
Okay.
I think he retains, but the feud will continue to go. Alexa Bliss versus all available women.
I think Alexa Bliss is going to win it.
I think so,
she's
too.
She's going to keep it. Unless, what's her name's back? Because I heard Naomi's back wrestling.
Is she?
And she wrestled on SmackDown last week.
Oh.
So she might get her title back.
Dude,
but
that sucked that she had
and Naomi's awesome.
She is. This is long overdue, her having that title.
Yeah.
It really is, man.
Great
I've been
athlete.
saying that forever, man. She's always been a great wrestler. So that would be awesome. So if she is, I'm going to go with Naomi.
Yeah, I still like Alexa, though. I
like her, but I'm going to go with Naomi.
I think if Naomi wins it back, it's going to be in a one-on-one
match
with Alexa. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, so the Tag Team Championship Triple Threat Ladder Match. Who's going to win that? We got Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Enzo Amore, Big Cass versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
I think the Good Brothers get it done again. I think they figure it out. Gallows and Anderson, yeah.
That's what I think, too. Then we got Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental Championship.
I think Dean's going to put him over. I think Baron Corbin's going to win the title.
You think so?
Yeah.
I could see that, too, actually, because they've been trying to build him up. So it makes sense. The only problem I have with it is then I don't know what they're going to do with Ambrose.
That's the shitty thing, and that's what we were saying before. When guys get called up, some guys get pushed down, but I think Ambrose will get it figured out. They might even put him back in the main event spot because he's the man.
Maybe, yeah. I hope so because I love Ambrose. Okay, so the main one I'm looking for, Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship.
I think Kevin Owens wins the United States Championship because just from what I've been reading and hearing, Chris Jericho is going to take a little hiatus and do some music.
Yeah.
But who knows? Chris Jericho loves wrestling, and he's always around
he's amazing.
He's the one guy who does other things, but is still a full-time wrestler.
Yes. Don't ever call Chris Jericho a part-time wrestler.
He's not.
You are so stupid.
It's not even close. It's not. The guy's there all the time. He's at every show. He does the house shows. He's how old now? 46. He's bust his ass, man.
He's a great wrestler.
He's for real.
He's always changing up his gimmick. Don't get me started.
Hilarious. He's awesome.
He's awesome. And plus, he's got his podcast. He's got his music. He's got shows on YouTube and stuff. That guy has so many different things going on, and he still puts in 100% in all of it.
Just doesn't stop, man.
Yeah, I agree. Kevin Owens is definitely going to win. Chris Jericho's got to go do his thing. One thing that scares me is Chris Jericho has said in the past that when he's going to retire, he's not going to say anything. He's just going to have a match, and then that'll be his last match without saying anything about it. I'm worried that this might be his last match. I could be wrong, but he's got other things lined up going on. By the time all that stuff's done,
you never know.
I don't know. I'm worried. I'm really hoping that's not the case, but we'll see. So Kevin Owens for that one. The Women's Championship with Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax.
Man. I think Bayley keeps it. But it really wouldn't surprise me if Nia Jax figured out a way to get her.
Oh no! Please no!
Garbage,
No!
Garbage bag filled with pudding ass in the ring.
That's so mean. I'm not going to say anything like that. No. But so who are you going with?
I think Bayley's going to keep it.
Really?
That's just wishful thinking though, because I really don't want to see Nia Jax win the title. But I think Bayley's going to keep it.
I'm going to go with Sasha Banks.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I think,
especially if one of her ass cheeks came out again.
Oh God,
that's always a good time.
Yeah. Okay. So
don't forget Bayley's got a fat ass on her too, man. This is gonna be a fun match.
Who do you like? Oh God. Who do you like better, Bayley or Sasha Banks?
Sasha Banks, but Bayley's got a nice butt on her, man. She does. I'm like, wow, Bayley. She's, you know.
You like the ponytail?
No, that's what throws
the
me
thing
off.
that throws
I don't like
off
that she looks like it's weird.
Isn't that kind of weird? The ponytail thing. I'm not. And especially when she gets wrestling and stuff, and then her hair's just a big
good wrestler mess, though, man.
Yeah, she is. But her hair gets so messed up with that. She's
just goofy.
They gotta get rid of the ponytail because
I like her a lot. She seems like a cool chick. She's just like she is goofy, really goofy.
But that's her thing. That's her gimmick, and it's kind of not a gimmick too. I think that's actually her.
It's probably how she is. Man.
You know. Okay. Cool. So the next match: John Cena, Nikki Bella versus The Miz.
Yeah, you know who's gonna win that match.
Who do you think's gonna win?
John Cena, Nikki Bella.
You think so? You don't think it's gonna be like, we lost, and then they propose?
No, that's stupidity. That's not how it works.
What did you just call me?
Stupidity.
Stupidity?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's an old one.
It's PC. You know.
Don't be a stupidity.
Yep. Okay. So then. Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles.
AJ's going to beat the hell out of him.
I think so.
Yeah, he's going to beat the hell out of him, but it's going to look really cool. And
it's going to be a great
Shane's
match.
going to get everybody's, look at Shane did. That's so cool, man. We respect you, Shane, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He's going to lose, though.
Yeah, I agree. Triple H versus Seth Rollins.
I think Triple H is going to beat him down. I think it's going to be really cool.
Really?
And then Triple H is going to get the upper hand. He's going to be super heelish, too. He's just going to... He's going to cheap shot him, and everybody's going to be really upset because they're waiting for Seth Rollins to be 100% to have an actual match with Triple H. This is going to be Triple H just dragging it out and just getting really bad.
You think Samoa Joe will be involved?
Yeah, and then I think there's going to be some sort of surprise to help Rollins, though. But, I mean, if that happens, then maybe Rollins will end up winning the fight.
Surprise. Who do you think?
I think Finn Balor. From what I've been, gathering, I think Finn Balor's going to come and
for that match.
If Joe gets involved or something like that, or Owens.
Oh well,
because that's like a little stable they got going on now with Triple H and Owens, but we'll see. I think Triple H gets the upper hand though if it goes the way if they just have a straight up one-on-one thing. Right. Triple H will get him. He'll do something dirty.
All right. Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Did they officially announce this is Undertaker's last
match?
No,
I don't think Undertaker will ever let him do that.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to do that ever. I think he just wants to go out. Part of me really hopes that Taker wins only because if Reigns wins, it's not going to change his fan perception. People are going to be really pissed off.
Yeah.
And he's a face, and that's a problem when people are booing your top baby face. So if he lost clean to Undertaker and then got up and shook his hand, I think the fans would respect him more. Like, you know what, man? The fact that he's able to take a loss at Mania like that would be pretty... I don't know. I think Taker wins, though, because if he's going to go out, I think he should go out winning. But they might just have him lose.
I mean, they could turn Roman heel finally.
Yeah, I mean, that's they should be working on. But, I mean, if they want to keep him the top babyface, I think he needs to lose this match.
I don't think the top babyface thing is going to happen.
Nah.
He's over.
They're trying. They're still trying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Undertaker should win.
Yeah, I think he should go out on top.
Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton.
Bray Wyatt.
Yes, please do not let Randy Orton win. If he wins, I will be so angry.
I love Orton. He's a great champion, but I mean, they need to keep this thing rolling with Bray.
Please.
He needs
Finally,
to be like
he's got the title.
Yeah, let him hold it.
Okay, so our last match, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Who's going to win?
Brock Lesnar's going to kick the dog shit out of him.
I agree. It better be Brock Lesnar.
I cannot wait. I hope it's a 5-minute squash match and he just completely destroys him. It's like Goldberg's been doing his entire career. I want to see Lesnar just pummel him. Come out there, kick out from the jackhammer, and then get up and just start beating the hell out of him.
That would be pretty badass.
Suplex him on his head like 7 times, 8 times. Just drag him out of the ring.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm excited for WrestleMania.
No, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
When you look at it on paper, you look at them, you're like, there's a lot of matches. It's potential for some really good shit. I think
7 matches I counted that I really want to see, so that's a good You know,
I think that everybody's issue was we didn't get many surprises. You know, everybody was hoping for the surprise call up of somebody to be in a match or like a surprise entrant. Or, you know, we didn't get a ton of that at Royal Rumble either. But you never know. Yeah, there's always something. I'm looking forward to Raw after Mania more than I am.
Oh yeah,
because Raw after Mania is always awesome. You know, I just wish somebody had the briefcase. Because then we could just be like, oh, what the hell is, you know, something could happen. True. The fact that no one's got a briefcase, Money in the Bank, we kind of just, you gotta hope Lesnar wins.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to talk about quickly before we end the show, I had an idea for a possibility of a versus segment. So I pick a wrestler, Crispy picks a wrestler, that's what I call him. And we debate who's better. For instance, the one that I really want to do is Chris Jericho versus this guy right here. Who's that? The Heartbreak Kid.
None other than the Heartbreak Kid, greatest in-ring performer of all time, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. So that is a segment that we want to do. And for those of you watching, if you think that would be a cool thing to do, I'm not talking about taking up a whole episode doing it, but just as a little segment in our shows and just a friendly little battle. And maybe you guys could comment to see who you like better. So if you like that idea, oh shit. So if you like that idea, leave us a comment. If you'd like the show, leave us a comment. Like us.
Share the shit out of it.
Share it. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to us so you can see our future videos. We're also going to try to get this into a podcast form so you can listen to just the audio, but I'm still trying to figure out the situation with that.
And remember, if any of you guys have the link to Paige's sex videos, send them my way, all right? I'd be very grateful. Research purposes only. That's it. I just want to gather more information.
Links all over the YouTube, and then the page is going to get taken down or something.
Don't send us porn.
Don't send us porn.
Don't send us porn.
Don't send us stuff. You know,
I'll give you my information. Don't put it on the page.
Yeah, send it to us.
Get a hold of me. Get a hold of me. I'll give you my email. But yeah, it'd be nice. Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for checking out Joey and the Heel, episode 2. Have fun on WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, WrestleMania. Fucking nerds. Have a good time.
All right, man. Let's get it.
Yep.
I've been holding the fuck for like.
You should have let it go. Oh.